We finally beat Medicare. We're trying to provide housing for black
American Horror Story, season 17.
On the choice, the idea that they're gonna. I'm proposing that everybody they pay.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 147. Uh-oh! Is that a coincidence? Did anyone plan that? Oh dear, it's the debate day. We just had it. We just experienced it. We're all digesting it. It's soaking into our bloodstreams as we speak. And boy, oh boy, didn't I notice that it was episode 147. Trump may or may not be the 47th president of the United States. Okay? Listen, we're just going to, first and foremost, we got to kick it off with some news, some personal updates. Lou Bug has been drafted, okay? It's we got the letter in the mail this week. We read it 3 times. We sent it to the lawyers. We got it figured out. It is an official draft letter due to his age and current mental and physical condition. He is a little overweight, but they said they'll fix that in basic training. Lou Bug has been drafted. So basically, first of all, one, we couldn't be more proud of the little guy. So he's going to go and, defend this country and fight for our freedoms. And 2, we kind of had questions like, what's he going to do? Is he going to sniff for drugs? He's really only good at sniffing out Cheerios and potato chips. And they're like, yeah, we'll train his nose. I'm like, hey, well, you know what? Every time I try to smoke weed with Lou Bug, I blow it in his face and he runs away. It's like the devil's lettuce or something, And so, he doesn't he'll definitely be deterred. So if he doesn't sniff something, it's probably because there is drugs in there. So you could turn him into a drug sniffer. They said, no, Levi, Mr. McCurdy, what we do now, especially for the dogs like Lou Bug. And I said, what's that supposed to mean? And he completely ignored my question. He said, what we do now is basically we take Lou Bug into combat. He's going to, he's going to pair, he's going to cling with a human. We're going to introduce him to some of our soldiers, okay, some of our combat members. And then once he finds his new best friend, unfortunately, I'm sorry, it's not you anymore. I started crying instantly. Then he'll take Lou Bug into the active war zone with him. And if and when they reach a level 4 or level 5 emergency, and you can't get any higher than that, level 5 is we've got Osama Baghdadi in our sights, we're about to take the shot, Mr. President, in the Situation Room. What's the order? And then Trump goes, take him out. And then boom, it's done. That's a level 5 situation. If they feel it necessary, what they'll then do is they'll toss Lou Bug at the enemy. And the enemy, of course, will be forced to, catch him. Lou Bug's pretty heavy, so, they'll naturally catch him because he's adorable and a flying Frenchie. How could you not? And so they'll catch him, and in the meantime, the U.S. commander will trigger the bomb on Lou Bug's vest. And then, of course, just essentially Lou Bug making the ultimate sacrifice, fighting for our freedoms and keeping this country safe so you can sleep safe and sound at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? So Lou Bug, he's packing. He's packing right now for basic training. He's getting ready for his time in Virginia and then inevitably overseas. I think, where's he at? Do we have footage of Lou Bug? There he is. Lou Bug, he's getting ready. He's ready to go. He said he's ready for basic training and he's ready to go. He's ready to become part of the United States Marine. I think they're putting him in the Marines, I think. I think the Marines are the ones that are going to take him into combat. And so they're going to tune him up. You know what I mean? Hoorah, Lou Bug is probably what they're going to start yelling. Like when Marines see each other, they're probably going to like change and rebrand the whole hoorah thing to Lou Bug. And so when Marines see each other now in like 2025, after Lou Bug makes the ultimate sacrifice, either in Israel or the Ukraine, because that's where we'll inevitably end up. So over there, then they'll say Lou Bug when they pass each other on the street. So it's the ultimate sacrifice. Lou Bug got drafted, and that's where we're at in this country. It's where we're at. They said, well, we can't take the boy. He's got the tism, and I'm too old. And Megs has 19 different prescription drugs in the cabinet that she has to take every day. So they're definitely not taking her. So, they said, well, we got to take Lou Bug. So he got drafted, and that's where we're at, which of course leads us into nothing other than the debate. Okay. We were all prepared. It was America. We were ready. We were like, no way is this happening. No way is Donald Trump and Joe Biden mentally, maybe Trump, maybe not Biden either. There's no way this is going to happen. There's no debates this year. Every single analyst, every single podcast that thinks they know what they're talking about when it comes to the politicians and politics and the United States government, they all said there's no way we're getting debates this year. Well, guess what? Last night we had a debate. So 99% of the podcasts that you're listening to, stop and listen to this one. Because clearly we know what the fuck we're talking about over here. So all those podcasts that you listen to that gets millions of views every week and every download and fucking reel and Snapchat and whatever else you're following, that same person on every goddamn platform, stop following them because they told you there wouldn't be debates this year. Last night there was a debate. So it was rough for both sides, okay? And, not to give too many spoilers out the gate, but as soon as the boys hit the stage, it was just the opening arguments were nothing short of fantastic. I mean, here they are. We've got clips along the way, babes. We got the best of the best, so buckle up. This is the first of two, I believe, 2024 election, road to the election debate coverage from the What Are We Doing podcast. So this is what happened when Donald Trump and Joe Biden took the stage. I mean, it's clear. I mean, just from the very beginning, you can clearly see who the winner is going to be and who is going to have problems during this entire 90 minutes that we're in for. Don't worry. I'm not keeping you here past 2:00. I mean, the opening statements were insane. So it's just one of those situations where we all knew that's how it was gonna start. There wasn't any other situation. There wasn't any other outcome other than that for the very beginning. The opening statements, that's pretty much all it consists of. And so naturally, we get some heavy-hitting topics out the gate. Trump, he brings up these mental institutions. He brought up the mental institutions like 2 to 3 times last night. He brought it up on Logan Paul's podcast. He's brought it up on multiple occasions at multiple rallies. He's now brought it up twice at the debates. Trump is obsessed with the fact that Mexico, for whatever reason, and I don't know if they're deliberately letting people out of their insane asylums so that they can cross over into our border or not. But according to Donald Trump, you can fact check it for me. I'm sure you will. According to Donald Trump, that Mexico is purposely letting their insane asylum patients, the patients in the insane asylum, out of the insane asylum and just into the United States of America. He's brought it up multiple times, and it's a little concerning. So, like, we get those hits throughout the evening. And of course, the first topic of the night, we get the heavy hitters out of the way. So then at the back half, the boys can just play and have fun and do whatever it is that they're going to do with the evening. Okay. So of course the moderators had to bring up Roe v. Wade. We're starting with the heavies. Okay. And of course, both sides handling it with tiptoes. You know what I mean? They're saying what they feel like they need to say that is appropriate. Donald Trump claimed the Democrats are trying to rip the babies out of the bodies of these women. Biden said, no, we're not. They both agreed. They both disagreed. They both lied about their stances on the topic of abortion. And here's where we'll end this topic on this podcast, is that the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, it is not the right or decisions of the federal government, the state, the doctor, the lawyer, the court system to decide if it's what the woman wants. And if it's the abortion that the woman wants for any reason in this country, she should be able to get one. Case closed. It doesn't matter. Next topic. Like, that's where it should be. It should not be the men arguing. It should not be the government. It is up to the woman to decide. It's her it's her body. Knock it off. Stop it. Okay? And so, then the questions this year were all just, they were in through social media, and we can't get into 30 minutes of the debate. Listen, we can't get 30 minutes in. This wasn't on my bingo card. This wasn't on our drink list. Trust me, we were playing the games, okay? We had the Biden bingo cards. We had the take a shot every time Trump says fake news list up. We were playing the game as the game was being played. And it wasn't 30 minutes in. It wasn't 30 minutes into the debate until the moderators bring up the name Haley Welch. Okay. And I mean, if there's one thing that the American citizens are worried about in particularly this exact month that we are in with this, in this year, in this time period of our own reality, if there is one story that Americans can come together on, it's that the essence and popularity and the story and the rally and the virality and everything that we have thrown at the idea and the person that is of Haley Welch. Of course, we have to bring up her name in the debate. And of course, the presidents have no idea. The presidents, neither of them, Donald Trump, neither Biden, probably no one on their campaigns, have any idea who Haley Welch is. But we do, okay? And for those of you who are sitting at home thinking, well, Levi, I have no idea who Haley Welch is either, okay? They played us a clip last night at the debate to remind us exactly who Haley Welch is. You know her by a different name. And then, of course, we got Trump and Biden's response to Miss Haley Welch. And this is what they had to say.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
I disagree with that.
You have to maintain eye contact, work that chest,
Cut the balls.
my hands wrapped around the Johnson. And most importantly, when he says, I'm going to come, don't change that speed.
Believe me, I know what that feels like. But anyway.
Good job. Do we like Dick? Yes.
I mean, to start the debate and go from such a serious topic such as women's reproductive rights all the way up to the most recent viral sensation. I mean, to get this response from Donald Trump, I mean, what do we expect? What do we expect more from Donald Trump? That's the exact response that we'd expect. Biden agrees, so we're out the gate. We're out the gate agreeing that Haley Welch is in fact correct. I hope for goodness sake that the stories and rumors are true. I hope that her job fired her, and I hope that she sues the ever-living pants off of that job for allegedly being a distraction. I think she might have been a teacher. It's unfortunate that those things happen, but listen, I think she needs to sue the crap out of the school district. But I mean, a great answer to an incredible question from Donald Trump, and then just the backup from Biden there. You wouldn't have expected that, but what a wonderful start. What a wonderful start. And the zingers kept coming, okay? I mean, listen, the last two bits, they were jokes, okay? It's time. We'll get serious now, okay? The zingers keep coming. It was a joke. Obviously, it was an edit to The Daily Show. Shout out to them, okay? But obviously, listen, we knew at one point during the debate Biden would start trailing, okay? We thought maybe he'd come out with the same drugs he had in him during the State of Union. That kind of didn't seem like it happened here, okay? And so when Biden came out and he was a little, we weren't sure what was going to happen. And then by question 3, question 4, by the second or third rebuttal, we start trailing off. We start trailing off because you know for a fact that the entire time that they had him in that cabin, he refused the drugs. He refused the drugs. The entire time they were in that cabin, they said, "Mr. President, we need to get these drugs in you. We need to get the drugs in you, and we need to make sure that you're primed and ready to go. Mr. President, we need you to drink this Prime Energy, and we need to just stick you with one more needle." And he says, "Please, no more. No more. I can do it. I'll drink the Prime. I'll drink the energy drink, but please, do not under any circumstances give this man any more drugs. Please." At the end of the day, and so he refused. You know for a fact he refused. And as soon as Trump could, he didn't hold back any punches. He didn't hold any punches back. And this inevitably started the roast battle. This is essentially what ended the actual debate. We got one serious topic out of the way. Shout out to women's rights. We're for it, and you. But then it just became a comedy show. It became a roast battle and a comedy show at that, because this is what happened next, okay?
What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban.
Which I think is false, by the way.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
We all said it. We all said the same thing. And then Trump comes in with the first zinger of zaddy trumpets of the night. And it doesn't get much better than that. It doesn't get much better than Donald Trump saying what we've all been saying for the last 4 years. What did he say there at the end? Hey, what was that? Like, we kind of heard what he was talking about, and then we started paying attention, and then he trailed off. What did he say? I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. And thus begins the roast battle. Like, no one knows what he's saying, okay? So now that the floodgates are open, we can let the roasting and the commentary back and forth, and just let the opinions and the lies and just let the good times roll. So the next question on everyone's mind in America, of course, is, can either of these two 80-year-old men mentally, especially, and physically handle the presidency to 2028? Will one of these men be able to take this country from where we came from to where we are now to where we want to be in 4 more years? And do they have the mental capacity and do they have the physical abilities to get up every morning and fight for our rights to party as American citizens? And so here's what we'll just say to that before we even get into the fact that there's no way that either one of these men were on any type of drugs during this entire debate. They did not give them shots of anything. They didn't give them pills of nothing. These men were sober as we are in this household, like we covered last episode. They didn't, and hey, here's the issue. They should be. And if they're not, why aren't they? These two men, this isn't the Olympic trials. This isn't Snoop Dogg running the quarter mile at the Olympic trials over in France right next to the guy with the Yu-Gi-Oh card. This shouldn't be a problem in this country to get the two men that should be the sharpest in the brain, especially for how old they are and the amount of responsibility that they hold. I don't care if you have to strap them down. Give them the drugs they need. This is why, why is the leader and or future leader of the free world not the sharpest man on the planet? And if he's not, inject him again. Inject him with the drugs, okay? Like, I can't imagine that Donald Trump doesn't fall asleep every single night watching the Limitless movie. I guarantee you, Donald Trump falls asleep to watching Limitless with freaking, what's his name, Bradley Cooper and goddamn Robert De Niro. Trump wishes he was De Niro in the movie, except for the fact that De Niro in real life kind of hates Donald Trump's guts and wishes he would just go away forever on a remote island and kind of drown somewhere. But that's besides the point. Donald Trump wants the NZT drug. If we got the boys on the NZT drug, we'd be the greatest country in the world. They're laughing. The other leaders, they're it's Vladimir Putin and the guy from Korea in the 2026 Bentley that's not even supposed to be out yet, driving down the road, laughing at the fact that we've got Donald Trump and President Biden being escorted off the debate stage. And so this is where we start the gates swinging. You know what I mean? Like Donald Trump, they start asking. They're like, hey, where's your head at? Where's your mental capacity? Where do you see your aptitude in the next 4 years? And of course, it was Donald Trump's turn to go first. And he comes out the gate swimming. He's like, look, I took 2 BuzzFeed aptitude tests. I went to BuzzFeed.com. They're the best at the tests. They're the best at the quizzes. They can get the results you need. I took 2 of them and I aced them. And you know what the people at BuzzFeed said? They said, BuzzFeed, we've never seen anyone ace these tests before until Donald Trump took them. And Biden, he refuses. He hasn't even taken 1 test. He won't even take 1 aptitude test. And when it comes to my strength and my physical abilities, I'm on the golf course every day. I'm on the golf course every single day. And that's where we're at.
Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take 1, just 1, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. A real easy one. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way.
Now, does it count if he won those 2 club championships at Mar-a-Lago, aka like the golf course that he lives on / theoretically I'm pretty sure owns? So it's like by default Donald Trump only has to do like 30% of the work and he automatically wins. Like if anyone else wins at Mar-a-Lago, it's an issue and you can never play there again. So of course Donald Trump won the last 2 championships at his own golf course. This is where we need to go. This is where we need to be. And this is where we need to stay. I think this is the right move, I think.
And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in a
little bit lighter. I'm in as good a shape as I was 25 years ago, and I'm a little bit lighter. Dude, the Ozempic is working for Zaddy T. They didn't have Ozempic back in the 90s and the early 2000s. You had to do freaking Weight Watchers with Oprah. You had to count the points. The chicken breast was 0. You know what I mean? It was a whole thing. Now we're just putting the Ozempic in with any other drug he's got in his system, and we're just shoom. Of course we're lighter. But Biden, he's listening. He's listening. And look at his face. Look at Biden's face. He's like, hold up, homeboy. You're not lighter. Hey, look at Biden's face. You're not lighter. You're chubby. Oh, he gets him. Oh, he gets Biden. This is as nasty as you'll see. President Joe Biden. Ready?
Good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what you're.
The president of the United States just called Donald Trump fat. The president of the United States is fact-checking his opponent, Donald Trump, on national live television as the entire country watches. The entire country is praying that either one of these men shit their pants. And it is imperative that that happens for our democracy and our society to successfully move forward on the timeline that we have created. And so when that doesn't happen and we get zingers like this, and Joe Biden comes out the gate with his own fact check of the fact that Donald Trump is not only lying about how tall he is, but about how much he weighs, and the fact that, it's like 5 or 10 pounds. I mean, he's a little bigger than he says. He's a little bigger. And it doesn't, the comeback, and then Trump is arguing, they're arguing about how much the man weighs. And it's just, Trump is like doubling up on his Ozempic right now.
Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own
Check
bag.
him.
Think you can do it?
Check him.
He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was at 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, how many?
So we have to address it. We have to address it. If you're going to bring up your physical appearance and your physical abilities to beat Joe Biden in a golf match, he has to hit you back. He has to hit you back. So we're going to lie about our handicap. He calls him out on that. And now we're talking about our golf swing at the first 2024 presidential election. Okay? End it right now. End the campaigns right now. Stop taking donations. The people of America are no longer voting in November. Shut it down. We're done. We're changing up the format. They did it to themselves. This is how it's going to go down. President Biden and Joe... fuck it. I'm getting too excited. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump Not only is it going to be live on Netflix, it's going to be brought to you by Barstool Sports, and we're going to have fucking Dave Portnoy, Brianna Chicken Fry, fucking Big Cat, KFC, and maybe one other person. And they're going to vote, and they're going to commentate, and they're going to give us the play-by-play, and it's going to be the presidential election, 18 holes of golf. They're going to tee off, and whoever wins the 18 holes plus the unanimous vote from the judging panel from Barstool Sports will be the next president of the United States. Call Portnoy. Get him on the phone. I want 10%. We'll get the fucking draft. Hey, it's brought to you by DraftKings, baby. The American citizens aren't voting anymore. We're betting. Get $15. Get $500 towards your first presidential election bet. Who do you think's going to win the golf match? Donald Trump or President Biden? Put your money in now, and we'll match it at DraftKings.com/presidential candidates. Get it now. Barstool Sports will be there. Dave Portnoy's there. El Presidente is commentating and live interviewing on the golf course as they carry their own bags. The presidents of the United States. That's it. I'm not voting. You guys aren't voting either. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't count. It doesn't mean anything. Let them decide on the golf course. They brought it upon themselves. They're bringing no handicaps. They start at 0 and it's done. And then we go from there. And then whoever wins and whoever the judges of Barstool decide who the next president of the United States is, I think it'll be a fair game. I think it'll be fair. And I think, will the president cheat? Will Biden try to outsmart his opponent? Will Trump inevitably win the game? Most likely. But, hey, at least we can say it was a sport. We'll get Netflix involved. We've now got DraftKings. Prime, I'm sure, will be the official drink. We have Portnoy, Barstool Sports. It'll be an American-based situation. We can get Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut there eating hot dogs. Let's make it an event instead of this whole having everyone go down to the church and stand in line and vote. And then you're just going to say they're fake anyways. And then the Electoral College is just going to make the inevitable decision that they're going to make anyways. And most of the states are going to already be decided on who they're voting for. And it doesn't actually matter. And we kind of already know who's going to be president anyways. So let's just skip all that bullshit that we all know is inevitably coming and throw them directly on the golf course and make America golf again. I think it's a great idea. I think someone needs to call Barstool and make it happen. You know what I mean? You can't be president of the United States and talk about your golf game unless it's in this exact format. You know what I mean? The only way that you can properly bring up your golfing abilities as president of the United States, former or not, is this exactly right here, okay?
The terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive. All right, you need another.
You can't, if you bring it, hey, what they did last night was pussy compared to the, if you're gonna bring up your golf game, you gotta back it up immediately. And so it's just, man, can you imagine if everyone, instead of voting, America uses what dollars we have left to pay for bets on who we think is going to inevitably win the 2024 golf game election. You know what I mean?
It's in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general,
Here it comes.
and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
Biden gets so feisty. He gets so feisty, whether it's the media, whether it's the people who are asking him the questions, whether it's Donald Trump. Whenever you bring up the kids, Biden gets a little feisty, whether it's Hunter, whether it is unfortunately the one that they lost, RIP. But he gets a little like, and if he gets wind of like someone saying like, Hunter, hey, Hunter just got, he's like guilty on a few different counts when it comes to the whole like laptop, Russia, hookers, cocaine, like President Biden's son, like that whole thing. Yeah, he's guilty. Joe Biden gets real uptight. Biden gets real uptight and doesn't like people talking about his family's business. But when it comes to Trump, oh, he loves bringing up Trump's business too. But it's one thing if he catches wind and he thinks in this moment that at one point in time, Donald Trump called his son a loser. Oh, we're going all the way back to 8th grade. Biden thinks that Trump referred to his son as a sucker and a loser, and says this to Donald. Oh.
Heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his 4-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
There it is. Oh, he should apologize to me right now. Oh, you're a sucker, dude. It's like if we're not getting the president of the United States calling someone a sucker or a loser, it's like you have to decide whether or not you like listening to Kamala Harris or Joe Biden talk more. There's nothing we needed more in last night's debate than to like cut over to like maybe a vice presidential question. Like, let's ask the vice presidents of these two men, which I don't think we know who Donald Trump is going to be yet, do we? I don't know. Okay. And so it would have been fantastic if A, we knew that, and B, we could cut to them and we got something from Kamala, like, kind of like this.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
That's right. And so if that's the kind of energy, it's what we need. It's what we needed last night. But unfortunately, she wasn't there. She was busy doing other things. And so Biden's last dig, right? Biden's last dig, Biden's last attack, his last stab, his last bullet, the last piece of ammunition that Biden and his team could come up with for Donald Trump was bringing up Stormy fucking Daniels, dude, okay? And like, has anyone checked in on this poor woman? Now, I know she's probably sitting on a beach somewhere with a huge bag of money, okay? I know that she was handsomely paid. But like, we're unfortunately never going to be rid of her. I guess Stormy Daniels is, like to Trump as like Monica is to Bill, right? As Epstein is to all of them. That's where we're at, okay? And so this was right after Trump's jab at Hunter's laptop, fake news, Russian propaganda. Then Biden drops his nuke of the night, okay? They've been prepping all week for this. They've been in the cabin. They've been prepping for this moment. This is Biden's time to shine. This is basically his closing argument. This is what he wants the American people to know about Donald Trump, and it's pure gold.
The president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history has spoken like that before. Number 3, the crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what were they talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
You have, he's been looking. His team has been using ChatGPT all week. They've been generating lines all week until they found the most perfect one. They tested it with their audience and they came up with the perfect line for Donald Trump. You have the morals of an alley cat. How dare you sleep with a porn star while your pregnant wife is at home? And the look on Donald Trump's face, when he says all these things, he's stacking up the truths and he's stacking up the lies in his head to come up with the perfect response, not to mention the fact that the man just said the morals of an alley cat is the best GPT generated line that the Democrats, bravo. And Trump only has one clarification to make.
Good night, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star.
Boo! And that's it. And that's all he needed to make sure that you knew for a fact that if and when he had sex with this woman, she was not, in fact, a porn star. She might have been a stripper. She might have been a pole dancer. She might have been a prostitute, but she was, in fact, not a porn star. Now, any of these women running around, that we can't be sure of. But when it comes to any type of court case that Donald Trump may or may not be involved in currently or in the near future, women / people who were accused, they weren't at the time, they were not porn stars. And that is a fact.
Number 1. Number 2, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat.
Horrible.
The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote,
so basically, if you didn't what happened there is A, Donald Trump not only clarified they didn't have sex with a porn star, but B, that the case against him in that matter of fact was moved to essentially people in power of Democratic control, and he's blaming Biden for the trial and how the outcome of it happened, and that basically it's Biden's doing, and because he was actually convicted, that was actually Biden's fault, and that the people have seen that it's actually Biden's fault, and that Trump is actually in the wrong. And so they show their support by donations, and the fact that we've gotten over $400 million in donations since the verdict clearly shows and indicates that the American people have seen through this facade, this fake trial, this corrupt judge, this whole mirage that they are trying to pull over the wall of Americans isn't working, because his campaign numbers are up. His poll numbers are through the roof. CNN's reporting it. And we know that Donald Trump is inevitably, guilty. He's probably guilty on most charges, but I mean, it inevitably will come down as not guilty, even though, it is what it is. So that was pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing new that happened, nothing that we need to be concerned about, nothing of information that's actually worth listening to. If you've made it thus far, thank you. They both should have retired. They should have been forced to retire 10 plus years ago. There should be a age gap on federal employees in this country. If you are over the age of 70, you must leave. If you are over the age of 70 and you are still a decision maker, a Nancy Pelosi, a Speaker of the House, someone who has access to the president or Donald Trump, if you are over 70 years old and you are someone who is an importance of power in this country, goodbye. Take your severance, take your Secret Service agent, and GTFO. You're done. Get out. That's the new age limit. That's the gap. It should be younger. It should be 60 years old. And trust me, when us youngers get into power, we'll probably pull it back a little further. But for now, 70 should hey man, they both need to go to a cabin together and just sit there for another few years and just kind of fade away. It's a situation where we don't need either of them. Okay. And so now after the debate, these two dudes, they went their opposite ways, okay? Trump walked off the stage on his own. And of course, Joe Biden was escorted very carefully down the stairs and across the stage. And Trump went home. Trump stayed up all night because he was on a few uppers, of course. Trump was up all night just editing, okay? He was opening up Premiere. And he was opening up Premiere and he was looking to edit this video. I mean, he was up to 4 a.m. Trump, it was noted that Trump was up. It says right here, Secret Service stated that Donald Trump was up in his office until 4:30 in the morning, while President Biden had other plans. We'll get to those in a minute. But this edit took Donald Trump till 4 in the morning and is said to have a James Cameron-esque editing style, director's cut, French kiss, well done from Zaddy trumpets, end quote, from the Secret Service. So Donald Trump was up till 4 a.m. editing this video, and this is what he did after the debate. This is what Donald Trump went home to do after the debate. And I can't wait to see. It's literally a minute and a half. Oh boy, here we go. This is Donald Trump's edits and his latest campaign video. Is he putting this out as a campaign? Let's watch.
Folks, how are you? Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black
American Horror Story, season 17.
The choice the idea that they're going to, I'm proposing that everybody, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get away with, get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
Oh, man. I mean, coming soon to FX, starring Kim Kardashian and fucking Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump. American Horror Story Season 17. Like, wow. So that's what Donald Trump went home to do. So that'll probably be on, that'll probably be airing on your TVs anytime soon, okay? Now, Biden, on the other hand, he went out and celebrated, okay? Biden went to an after party, then there was a party after that. Biden went out and celebrated because Biden's only goal for last evening was to get every question answered, okay? And hey, he did it. That was his only goal, just to get an answer out each time. It could have been gibberish. It could have been coherent. It could have been a viral moment. It could have been the best damn answer the Democrats could have wished for. None of them were. But like, as long as he got an answer out each time, his team was happy and they were happy. So everyone was excited for Joe. He made it. He didn't fall down. He had a few moments, but he answered the question. And so he went to the after party. Of course, his wife was there. Of course, DJing the whole thing. And, basically calling Trump a liar. I mean, it's fantastic how often they all lie, okay? We did some fact checking. They both sides lied, okay? But it's fantastically wonderful that we can just observe these lies and know about them in plain sight and in real time, and they still attempt to tell us that they're not, and that the other people are lying, and that they are single-handedly telling the truth.
You did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts.
Look at him.
And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Lie.
He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher. He said Trump told Americans to inject bleach amid COVID. We know Trump made foolish comments about scientists studying disinfectant injection, but didn't frame it as advice to people.
All right, look, and then there's videos on the flip side of that of everything that Trump said was essentially a lie too, and that's what these are. That's all they are now. It's basically them bringing up a topic. Sometimes they'll lie about it. Sometimes they won't. And it's just like, it's Biden and his wife congratulating each other at the after party with a handful of supporters cheering for him. And what better way to not only top off the night after that, the freaking Bidens and their entire entourage go to the damn Waffle House. Okay, they go into the Waffle House. And so, of course, Biden gets announced. They walk in. He doesn't know where to go. Everyone's filming him. Everyone's saying hi and shaking his hand. Look, and if you pause it here. There's a seat full of black people, and then the bar's full of white. All of these people in this room right now are 100% Trump fans. They will be voting for Donald Trump. They have no reason to vote for President Biden. They despise this man. But the fact that the President of the United States is here and in their presence is mesmerizing. And if honestly, you would probably have nothing to do other than smile and potentially shake his hand if he was there too. And be like, wait a minute, is this real? Is this the president? Holy shit, I'm meeting the president. This is crazy. I don't really know who he is or care about what his politics are right now. Holy shit, hi, president. Like, that's the kind of moment, surreal moment you're in until you realize Joe Biden's in a Waffle House. For what reason does Joe Biden, like, I think, here's the issue. I think he went there because he thought Trump would be there. Biden went to the Waffle House because he thought Trump would be at the Waffle House, and he was trying to slam down in the parking lot. Biden was trying to fight Donald Trump in the parking lot of the Waffle House, potentially get the employees involved, and potentially get a chair thrown at Donald Trump's head. I guarantee you that was his plan. He didn't go to the Waffle House because he wanted a late night waffle and some hot coffee. He wanted to meet Trump there. He wanted to scrap in the parking lot. I think President Biden's trying to fist fight Donald Trump. And if it happens, well, we need one of the Paul brothers involved at least. So if that's happening, like, it's just why is he there? It's fine. Everyone in the restaurant's a Trump supporter. And that's how we ended the night. It was a mediocre debate. It was fine. It was what it was. It was everything else and anything that we kind of could have expected. There were a few highlights, obviously, but I think we've pretty much come up with a clear and direct path to the winner. I think even some of the Democrats are a little nervous for Biden after his performance last evening. And I'm pretty sure we're declaring Donald Trump the winner of that debate. I'm pretty sure. We'll let Twitter decide, but that's all I have on the topic for now. Listen, NSYNC needs our help, okay? Bring up the boy bands. Bring up the members of NSYNC because we got to go through these one by one. Members of NSYNC. And so, okay, here we go. Listen, we talked about it last week. We all heard the news. Everyone knows Justin Timberlake. He's on his downward spiral. He can't handle the fame. He's selling his entire album. He's got his no one's listening. No one knows, can name a single song on Justin Timberlake's new album, but somehow we've got an entire world tour revolving around it. No one told us last week. Homeboy was fresh out of the drunk tank, fresh out, still high on whatever he had in his system on stage the next morning. I believe we have a shot of that. So, like, JT, clearly, here's what we need to do. Give the dates to J-Lo. Give all the ticket sales, all the sold out arenas, all the shows on the world tour. J-Lo's been itching. J-Lo's been itching to get on stage. She's been itching for a sold out world tour. She just had to cancel hers because no one wanted to go. If they're already sold out, give them to J-Lo. Justin needs rehab. Get that boy some help, because when you look like this performing the hits, he's sweating out more than just like some alcohol, babes. There's a little bit more than one martini expressing from the forehead of Justin Timberlake in this performance. So he needs help, okay? Moving right along. JC, listen, he's talentless. He's done. He's out of here. I don't know what he's doing. It's very, I don't know. We haven't heard of him. Lance Bass, he has a podcast. Lance Bass is just podcasting now. He's as equivalent to what we do as Justin Timberlake is to a world tour. It's non-existent. Okay. Joey, in his infinite wisdom, Joey has teamed up with AJ because the only other boy band member from the 90s, because if you're a 90s boy band, you can't it's muddy waters if you start getting in bed with the 2000 boy bands, because we're going to get to it in a second. But if you're you can only link up with boy bands from the 90s. So Joey, he's doing everything that he's trying to do to make money with AJ, because AJ is the only Backstreet Boy left, okay? The Carter is dealing with a lot of family drama right now. He's out. Most of the other Backstreet Boys, they're out. AJ seems to be the only one willing to go the extra mile, okay? And so Joey and AJ, they've been doing stuff. They've been doing shows. They got a brand new Dunkin' Donuts deal. Those two are riding the brand wave until those wheels fall off. So you're going to continue to see Joey. Now, as performance-wise, I think they still are. I think AJ and Joey are on their own boy band nostalgia pop world tour right now. And so then we get to the infamous Chris Kirkpatrick. And what, for those of you who don't know, is currently happening with Chris Kirkpatrick, Chris has teamed up with the members of O-Town. And for those of you who don't know what and who O-Town is O-Town is a very early, like year 2000s, MTV style, I think Making the Band reality show. Essentially what happened was in the 90s, 98 Degrees, New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and one or two other boy bands made it seem as if America needed even more boy bands. So MTV created their own reality show called O-Town. Or I'm sorry, the reality show was called Making the Band. But they created on that show the boy band O-Town. But that was unfortunately after the stock market crash of the boy band pandemic of 1999 into the year 2000, and the bubble burst, okay? And we didn't have enough energy. We didn't have enough attention. We didn't have enough money for Lou Pearlman to steal from these O-Town boys. And if it wasn't for the MTV show and them giving them a mediocre, what should probably not have happened in the first place, season 2 of the Making the Band show featuring O-Town, then like they would never have gotten radio play. We would have never known who they are. And we still today, most of us up until this point, don't know who the actual fuck O-Town is. And so what's happening now is we are getting a pop 2000s tour featuring, okay, listen to this, featuring DJ Scribble, who is literally only on stage for his 10 to 15 minute set in the beginning of the show. He then leaves. No one else is DJing the set. No one's behind the DJ booth. It's empty, and the music is just magically playing. And I don't know why we don't have a dancing DJ on stage, but if you need one for the second leg of your tour, give me a call. DJ Daddy Donuts to the rescue. You want the Zaddy Trumpets hair? I'll wear the Zaddy Trumpets hair hat with the DJ Zaddy Zonuts costume, and I'll be ZZ Zaddy Zonuts Zonald Zaddy Trump Donuts DJ for the second leg of the Pop 2000s tour. Chris Kirkpatrick hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Then we get B-Mac, we get Ryan Carbonara. We've never heard of these people. Then we get, listen to this, Jeff Timmons of 98 Degrees. So the rest of that boy band, they're shot down, done. Like, they're like, hey, bro, we're 45 years old. We can't do this anymore. Like, we're sitting this one out. So they've only got Jeff from 98 Degrees. So he'll inevitably come out with the backup and the backup singing and dancing of O-Town, much like the rest of them. Then, of course, we've got O-Town. We've got them all there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 members of O-Town, NSYNC lookalike wannabes. And the entire thing, the entire show, the entire 3.5 hour, 3 and a half hour show is hosted by none other than Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. And when I tell you that these shows are happening at any and all abandoned shopping mall or any public park amphitheater or any semblance or any resemblance of a stage, these boys are performing. Well, they're not boys anymore. These old men are performing on stage. It's the year of old men on stage. If it's not our politicians, it's all of the boy bands from the early 2000s. While these men are performing on stage, Chris Kirkpatrick is not only the host of this show, he then comes out at the end. He comes out at the end to do his own set where it is Chris Kirkpatrick single-handedly doing 3 to 4 of NSYNC's number one hits with the backup vocals and dance moves of O-Town and no other NSYNC. I mean, it's probably one of, and like, homeboy is not only 20 pounds overweight, he should be at the gym. He should be at the gym up until the very point he gets on stage. He's got a sprained wrist because he hurt it during dance practice. And I mean, this is what you have to be in tune with at the York Galleria Mall. Doesn't matter. And that's what you get. And that's what we're doing. Like, the dance moves come with it. It's... Oh, get it. Dude. The outfit. The ripped jeans. The skinny ripped jeans. How old is Chris Kirkpatrick? Give me an age. How old is this man? 52? Chris Kirkpatrick is 52 years old. He's 52. Oh my God, he shouldn't be moving like this. He's got ripped skinny jeans on, a tucked in Pop 2K jersey. And by the way, I'm pretty sure he has a different Pop 2K jersey for every town they go to. Let me double check. Here's one. Oh, there's a green one. Okay, and he's got the same ripped jeans on. Wait a minute. Here's another show. Let me see. This show, he's got is it a blue splatter jersey? I think it's a different one. It sure fucking is. The man's got a different Pop 2K jersey on every city they go to with the same white ripped skinny jeans and the fucking Timberlands. He is 52 years old. Knock it off. What are we doing? And so they're filling the malls of America, like the rundown York Galleria malls that only survive because there's a casino and a gym that 30 people are subscribed to, and they're doing the same dance moves that they did. I mean, that they did when we were kid, and he's got a broken wrist because you're 52. Oh man. And like, hey, like, guess what? The O-Town boys, the O-Town portion of the show is even worse. Because guess what? No one knows any O-Town songs. So when they sing O-Town songs, the crowd can't sing along with them. But when O-Town does covers of the pop songs that we were listening to in the early 2000s, we can sing along. And that's where the boys get 1 gold star from me on this tour, because they know how to get the audience singing. This is what you need to know as a DJ, the one that isn't present on the stage at all during the show. But as a DJ, you need to know what songs get the people dancing and what songs get the people singing. So when you're O-Town doing your non-hit hits at your Look at Me nostalgia concert that we've got at the Galleria, then you've got to do covers such as, Holler Back Girl. This stop's gonna happen like that, cause I ain't no what? Sing it. Sing it. Hey. Sing it. York County. What's up? York County. Sing it. Dance. Let me see you dance. Let me see you. Spell it. Here comes. Here comes. Spell it. Ready, ready, ready. Here we go. B. Bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This is banana. Hey, hey, hey. And the mall is jumping, dude. This shit is banana. You know what's bananas? The fact that O-Town and Chris Kirkpatrick and one dude from 98 Degrees and one dude from the other band and someone by the name of DJ Scribbles, probably because he goes, you know what I mean? That's why they call him that, is selling out malls all over America. It's the Y2K. It's the Pop 2K tour, people, and it's coming to a town near you. The NSYNC crew needs help, dude. Justin Timberlake's on his way to rehab. We haven't seen JC in like 6 months since they did the Hot Ones episode. Lance Bass is a dying podcast. Joey Fatone is working on his last sponsorship that they could possibly get with AJ from the Backstreet Boys. There's no way that anyone possibly has any more money after Dunkin' Goddamn Donuts is shoving it down their throats for one sponsor post in a commercial. And Chris Kirkpatrick is coming to a mall near you because there's a hole. There's a hole with all these world tour dates that Justin Timberlake's not going to be able to make, with his inevitable rehab trip coming soon, because that's where he's at in his career. If it wasn't for Ellen DeGeneres shutting down her show, Timberlake would have a place to promote it. He would have all the tickets sold out. Ellen DeGeneres would have had Justin Timberlake on her show before the DWI, if the DWI still happened because of Ellen. After the if Ellen DeGeneres was still on air right now, Justin Timberlake would have a sold out world tour. Mark my words. Fuck you, Ellen. And because of that, now no one's buying tickets to the world tour and everyone's going to see Chris Kirkpatrick at the Galleria Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Levi McCurdy, and this has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Thank you so much for rocking with me for 147 weeks. This podcast, we have no intention of stopping. We have no intention of dropping. We have no intention of pop, locking, and dropping it. We'll be back next week. We'll have the news. We'll have the hits. We'll have everything that you need to know about next Friday, babes. Until next time, my name's Levi McCurdy. Hey, guess what? This Sunday, go to Fantasy Axe Throwing. When you make your booking appointment online at fantasyaxethrowing.com, use promo code Westeros. And if you're going on Sunday, you're going to get $5 off each thrower. It was $28 per hour. Now it's $23. And you're going to save some money on me and the Recap and Record podcast. Check it out. Me and Carlos. That drops every Monday now. You have to watch the Recap and Record podcast because we're talking about nothing other than House of the Dragon. That's why we partner with Fantasy Axe Throwing, because they have a King's Castle room and a Warlock's Lair and a Vikings room and an Enchanted Forest. It's all a part of the same universe. Throw axes like Jon fucking Snow at fantasyaxethrowing.com. And if you use promo code Westeros, me and Carlos and the Recap and Record podcast and our friends at Fantasy Axe Throwing are going to give you $5 off every Sunday. And when you're done throwing axes, watch House of the Dragon, 9 p.m., Sunday nights on HBO. And then on Monday, the next day, you go and listen to the Recap and Record podcast where we give you further insight. We give you facts about the episode that you didn't know about. Carlos and I break down all of the main, events and characters and conversations and everything happening within the world of the Seven Kingdoms and the war and the dragons and the deaths and everything happening in House of the Dragon. So you get this on Friday. You get a little bit of a break on Saturday. You can listen to 280 Plus if you didn't listen to that episode this week. Sunday, you're going axe throwing at fantasyaxethrowing.com. Promo code Westeros, $5 off. Then you're watching House of the Dragon. Then Monday after work, you're listening to Recap and Record. Holy shit. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.